Shalawama, Shalawama. I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. Just give me 1 second. Let me just make sure the connection is that we're streaming. Okay. All right, give me 1 second. 1 second. Oh, no. Oh, okay. All right. So it looks like we are good. I'm Dr. Yasapa. 1 second. Let me just make from Zion Law School. Okay. That we're streaming. Okay. And 1 second. This is an update on Russia versus Ukraine. All right. So are they going to go to war? What's up with it? Okay. So let's get right into it. All right. Let's get right into it. Let me first get my screen share together. All right. Let's get the screen share together. Okay. So here we are. All right. So, of course, you know, Zion Law School offers a streaming course, a streaming Ibaryath course, which is the original Hebrew that our ancestors spoke, the real language, Ibaryath. All right. This is available for you as a streaming course. It's almost free. $1 1-day trial. As you see, you're going to learn everything that you could expect in a comprehensive course. This is Ibaryath. It's intensive. It's comprehensive. 113 video lessons. $1 for 1-day trial. Almost free. $10 per month to subscribe. The value of this is between $8,000 and $10,000 US dollars. But I'm giving it away for almost free so that everybody in the world can afford to subscribe and learn. So let's get into it, okay? So I just want to update you on some important information happening in Russia. So we're going to look at Vladimir Putin's comments, okay? So let's let this queue up. I don't know why it's not queuing up now. YouTube gives me problems. I did a morning meditation today, and guess what? The volume was turned off. Okay, it was on my end, but off one. All right, so what's going on with this? Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on, I don't know what's happening. This is crazy. Let me open up a new window and try to do it again. All right. So, all right, here we are. Oh, give me 1 second. It'll be just a minute, just a few seconds. Hopefully, hopefully it'll queue up. So it appears, okay, all right, I think I got it. Unbelievable. Give me 1 second, y'all. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Okay, here we are. So let's get it going. So here's the update.
Well, how else?
Here's the update. Here we go.
About the use of the armed forces abroad. Well, how else? Yesterday we signed the agreements, and these agreements with both Donetsk People's Republic and Lugansk People's Republic, it has articles that say that we are going to help these republics, including with the military. And since there is a conflict with this decision, we make it clear, if need be, we are ready to assume the obligations, exercise the obligations we assumed.
Okay, let's
And
play it
about the
again.
use of the armed forces abroad, well, how else? Yesterday we signed and the agreements, and these agreements with both Donetsk People's Republic and Lugansk People's Republic, it has articles that say that we are going to help these republics, including with the military. And since there is a conflict with this decision, we make it clear, if need be, we are ready to assume the obligations, exercise the obligations we assumed.
All right, so there you have it. Vladimir Putin said himself out of his own mouth.
Let's bring in retired four-star
Give me
General
one
Jack
second,
Keane,
Lord.
Fox News senior strategic
Said out of his own
and
mouth
trained
that
in the study of war general.
if need be, they're going to fight, right? They're going to defend those territories with the military. Okay, so what's going to happen? Who knows, right? Who knows? But one thing you can be sure of, is that life is not going to improve for you, right? That's one thing you can be sure of. It's not going to improve your life at all, okay? And if you want to think this thing through, right? If you want to really think it through, they're defending their territory, right? But they're not the indigenous people, okay? They're not the indigenous people. And also notice that they're willing to stand up like men, whether you agree with them or not. They're standing up like men, like women, and defending their land. What about you? Are you standing up? Are you defending your property, your land, your birthright? Okay. Are you? Only you know. Only you know if you're behaving as a man or a woman in courage, if you're enforcing the law. Okay. So according to Vladimir Putin, he's enforcing the law. And what did he do? What did his nation do? They created, right? They created law. What was the law they created? Those agreements where they recognized the so-called rebelling peoples, okay? And they made a nation out of the land that they're standing on. So they made law, right? They made law. They made law. The law is what? Whatever they in their system said it is, right? What about you? You man who's made from the soil in Genesis chapter 2. The law is what you say it is, right? It's what you say it is. Are you in the game or are you out of the game, sitting on the sidelines? Only you can answer that. Who's determining what your future is and what your present is? Is it you by speaking what the law is and enforcing it? Or are you being controlled by an unseen puppet master? Who's controlling what you perceive? Who puts boundaries around your perception and your actions, right? So there's a lot we can learn from what's happening here. A whole lot we can learn, right? Power respects power. Power respects power. So are you moving and acting in power? Or are you moving and acting in weakness? Are you willing to unify Unified, even though it's going to cost you something significant, right? Or are you standing alone by yourself, your selfish self, unwilling to sacrifice or give anything for the greater good of your people and your nation, regardless of what other people on the outside think about it, regardless of the cost? Are you sitting there in weakness, thinking that you're the only person who matters, afraid to act, having no sense of community in the Black Negro mentality? Or are you standing up in the law? In the law. What law? Natural law, not religion, natural law. Because man is designed to function together as a family first, as a community or a tribe, right? As a nation. Here's the key, here's the kicker. Regardless of what tribe you're in, you're still in the nation. There is no separation. So why have a tribal fight? Why have division? It's nonsense, right? Because you're all, I'm assuming everybody's listening to this, is Genesis chapter 2, sprung from the soil, right? Sprung from the soil. The rightful heir. It's the rightful heir, okay? The rightful heir. So why argue and disagree to the point where you can't work together just because you're from a different tribe? See how stupid that sounds? You see how that leads to disempowerment, weakness, mental weakness, physical weakness, right? The inability to defend yourself. Because really you're stuck on stupid, right? If that's the way you're thinking, okay? So the US, Joe Biden says that they're gonna impose economic sanctions. So this is really, really comedy. You know, it's really, really comedy, especially if you're unfortunate enough to not realize what's happening, okay? If this is just a matter of talk and posturing, you know, or if they actually have some battles, right? What is it gonna really mean to you, right? What's gonna happen to interest rates in the US? It's gonna be an excuse to raise interest rates all over the world. So now your dollar is gonna buy less, okay? Your dollar is gonna buy less, and guess what? You're gonna be poorer as a result. So it's a continuation of the economic harm that was done during the pandemic. It's another reason to increase interest rates. It's another reason to cripple you financially so that whatever assets you have, the banks are in a better position to cause you to go into default. Let me not say banks, the financial institutions are in a better position to cause you to not be able to pay that mortgage. And let me not even say pay, to give Federal Reserve notes as credits for that mortgage. And they're gonna take your property. They're gonna take your property. I hope everybody can see what's happening. This is an excuse to raise interest rates. And if they go to war, right, guess what? Interest rates are gonna raise even more. Stock market should do what? It should crash, right? Gold prices should do what? It should increase. Cryptocurrency, who knows what's gonna happen, right? You really can't say what's gonna happen because many people like myself, right, in my opinion, I'm not a stockbroker anymore. I used to be long time ago, right? But it appears to me that the cryptocurrency market is not what they say it is, right? It's not what they say it is. The banks or the financial institutions and the governments, the same players, the elites, have to be behind that. They have to, otherwise they would have crushed it, right? Otherwise they would have crushed it. But they're telling a story, a narrative, to get everybody excited and get them into it, right? Just like the metaverse. Who in their right mind, think about this. Who in their right mind is going to buy some digital land? Who's going to buy digital clothing? Who in their right mind? Unless they're told in the media that this is the rave, everybody's buying it. Everybody's buying it and they're getting rich, right? Once you're told that, then you think, oh, I got to get in. And now you jump in because you've just been what? You just been got. Because once you get into that, you are further and further away from what's natural, real assets, land. You're going into Genesis chapter 1, right? So if you don't know what Genesis chapter 1 is, watch the videos that I've done about the mores being the substance and subject matter of the law, and come to class Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? So if you're buying into these things and you're believing it, buying into it, guess what? You are putting yourself in a whole new jurisdiction where they're gonna have even more control over you, right? Even more control over you, and you're gonna be even more detached from nature and natural law. Pay attention to what happened in Canada. Pay attention how they closed, they implemented the Emergency Act. They could shut down your bank account, arrest you for no reason. So the more you're into this digital stuff, the more you're at their mercy. In other words, social what? Social control, social controls. So as they get you hyped up through the promise of getting rich quick, and everybody knows that get rich scheme plans never work out. They never work in the end. They are con games. They never work out in the end. They only work long enough to get you believing. Once you believe and you're fully committed, you realize that you've been had, and you lose so much more than what you stood to gain. And whatever you put into it, you lost. Okay? Anyway, I know I kind of got off the subject, but let's see what happens. All right? And don't be afraid. Approach every day with courage and confidence. And remember, be you, be yourself, be yourself. Shalom.